morning. You are watching A News. I'm Bakhtiar Sanov, and let's see the headlines. U.S. President Donald Trump pauses tariffs for some Canadian and Mexican goods. Talks between the United States and Ukraine will be held in Saudi Arabia next week, Zelensky says. SpaceX's Starship explodes in space, again raining debris over Caribbean. The United States has once again suspended the 25% tariffs he imposed on most goods from Canada and Mexico until the 2nd of April. It's amid global trade tensions and alarm amongst American consumers.
US President Donald Trump has paused the 25% tariff hikes on Canada and Mexico until the 2nd of April, in the latest twist in a fluctuating trade policy. It's the second time Trump has suspended the tax increases on imports from America's biggest two trade partners. The increase measures created uncertainty for businesses and worried financial markets. Washington argues the increases were to curb fentanyl entering into the states. Claudia Sheinbaum says Mexico has already cracked down on top cartel bosses in recent weeks and pledges to work with the US. Trump has credited Mexico's president for making progress on illegal immigration and drug smuggling. Claudia Sheinbaum thanks Trump for what she called a respectful conversation on Thursday.
This agreement is valid until April 2nd. Remember that he announced that on April 2nd, he is going to announce tariffs to all the countries in the world. So he places Mexico within that international agreement or the decision he is going to make. More than agreement, because it is their decision, but he puts us within, just like any other country in the world, not with what he was doing now that finally excluded us.
Sheinbaum also announced that a planned rally in Mexico City's Zocalo Square, initially intended to address the tariff situation, would now be a celebratory festival. As important trade partners, the US and Mexico rely on cross-border commerce, particularly in industries like auto manufacturing, supported by the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement.
U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order establishing a strategic Bitcoin reserve and the U.S. digital asset stockpile under the Treasury Department. The order highlights Bitcoin's fixed supply as a strategic advantage, positioning the United States among the first nations to stockpile the cryptocurrency. It also mandates an inventory of all government-held digital assets. Trump previously hinted at plans to stockpile Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other tokens, sparking debate within the crypto industry. U.S. President Donald Trump said Thursday that he is considering revoking temporary legal status for around 240,000 Ukrainians who fled the conflict with Russia, following reports that his administration is planning to take that step. "We are not looking to hurt anybody," Trump told reporters in the Oval Office. "Some think it's appropriate, some don't, and I will be making a decision soon," Trump said. The move is part of a broader effort to roll back protections for over 1.8 million migrants admitted under Biden-era humanitarian programs. A senior Trump official confirmed the administration is reviewing the policy, sparking concerns among advocates and refugees alike. U.S. President Donald Trump says he plans to visit Saudi Arabia in the next 6 weeks to finalize a $1 trillion investment deal, including military purchases. Speaking from the Oval Office, Trump recalled his 2017 visit to Riyadh, when Saudi commitments totaled $350 billion. Trump says that at his request, Saudi Arabia agreed to invest over 4 years, benefiting American companies. Beyond economic ties, Saudi Arabia is playing an increasing role in U.S. foreign policy. U.S.-Ukraine talks will be held in Saudi Arabia next week. President Volodymyr Zelensky says he hopes that it will be a meaningful meeting.
U.S.-Ukrainian talks are set to be in Saudi Arabia on Monday. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he'll be meeting with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and hopes the talks will be meaningful. He made the announcement on social media after an emergency meeting in Brussels with European leaders on Thursday. Zelensky says Kyiv is working very hard towards reaching lasting peace. On his Telegram account, he wrote, "My visit to Saudi Arabia is scheduled for Monday, where I will meet with the Crown Prince. After that, my team will stay in Saudi Arabia to work with our American partners. Ukraine's top priority is achieving peace." This visit comes at a time when discussions are underway regarding a possible peace agreement to end the 3-year-long war between Ukraine and Russia. US President Donald Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, confirmed that negotiations on a peace framework are ongoing with Ukraine.
And so he's a top priority.
European Union leaders met in Brussels to discuss how to finance a sharp increase in defense readiness to deter any possible future attack from Russia and become less dependent for security on the United States. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky joined European leaders and thanked them for their continued support. Ahead of the talks, European Council and European Commission Presidents Antonio Costa and Ursula von der Leyen reaffirmed their support for Ukraine after the United States suspended its military aid for Kyiv.
Now we are here today to take decisions and to deliver. First of all, I would like to thank the European Commission to come so soon with concrete proposals that give the opportunity for us to take concrete decisions.
We want a peace through strength. And this is the reason why I present today to the leaders the Rearm Europe plan. The Rearm Europe plan provides up to 800 billion euros for defence investment. It gives the member states fiscal space to invest in defence. It gives the member states possibility to invest in the Ukrainian defence industry or to procure military capabilities that go right away to Ukraine.
We are very thankful that we are not alone, and these are not just words, we feel it. It's very important. You made a strong signal to Ukrainian people, to Ukrainian warriors, to civilians, to all our families, and it's great that we are not alone. We feel it and we know it. Thank you so much for everything.
Our William Denslow has more from the Belgian capital about the main outcome of the Emergency European Summit.
Spend, spend, spend was the message from Mette Frederiksen, the Danish Prime Minister, heading in to this summit here in Brussels. That was a reference to plans for the European Union to take substantial action when it comes to ramping up its own defence capabilities. This week, the European Commission has unveiled its Rearm Europe plan that could see roughly $840 billion worth of funding freed up for the European Union's member states to spend on boosting its own defence capabilities. This has certainly been welcome news, not just here in Europe, but also in Washington. For a long time now, the Trump administration has complained that Europe is not doing its fair share when it comes to spending on defence or providing enough security guarantees for Ukraine. The issue of Ukraine also paramount at this meeting. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky was in attendance. He said he discussed with EU member states issues like short-term support, things like more drones, more ammunition, more air missile defence systems to Ukraine. He also said they discussed the possibility of Ukraine joining the EU in the future. That has been an issue that's been rumbling around on the background for a long time now. Also being discussed was long-term security guarantees for Ukraine. Issues such as French President Emmanuel Macron's suggestion of bringing more European allies under France's nuclear umbrella. Also, the so-called coalition of the willing, this proposal that could see European peacekeepers potentially sent to Ukraine should a peace agreement be arranged. William Denslow, Frey News, Brussels.
Across town in the NATO headquarters, Polish President Andrzej Duda met NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte to talk Ukraine and NATO's June summit in The Hague. Duda said he wanted all NATO countries to decide on raising their defense spending to at least 3% of GDP immediately, saying it was necessary to deter Russia. Rutte spoke on the future of the transatlantic partnership and expressed cautious optimism that talks between Ukraine and the United States could lead to a positive result.
These are uncertain times, and I know some may have concerns about NATO's future, so let me be clear. The transatlantic relationship and the transatlantic partnership remains the bedrock of our alliance. President Trump has made clear its commitment of the US and his commitment personally to NATO. And it has also made clear the expectation that we in Europe must do more in terms of defense spending.
Przyjechałem tutaj do Brukseli I między innymi złożyłem na ręce pana.
I arrived here to Brussels and among other things, I submitted to the Secretary General a written request that this matter be raised at the upcoming summit in The Hague and that such a decision be made within NATO that at least 3% of the GDP of the member states of the alliance, of course, it could be more if anyone wants, be allocated to defense, and not by 2030, but immediately.
Turkey says it plays a crucial role in Europe's security. That's according to Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan. He made the comment at a joint press conference in Ankara with his Croatian counterpart Gordon Grlić Radman. He says that Europe's deterrent and sustainable security is only possible with Turkey's participation. Turkey says it can play a big role in Europe's security. Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan says that the continent's deterrent and sustainable security cannot be ensured without Ankara's involvement. It's after European leaders backed plans to spend more on defense and continue to stand by Ukraine in a world appended by Donald Trump's reversal of US policies.
The issue of Europe's security cannot be reduced solely to the war in Ukraine. The topic of Europe's security architecture must be addressed from a long-term and strategic perspective. In this context, a sustainable and deterrent security architecture is only possible with Turkey's participation.
Meanwhile, Fidan says Turkey and Croatia are important partners for ensuring regional peace and stability. He says he aims to deepen bilateral cooperation in the defense industry with Croatia, as well as energy collaboration. Fidan pointed out that Croatia's energy terminal on Kirk Island holds strategic importance for Europe's energy security. He urged Croatia to play a greater role in enhancing Europe's energy security by encouraging investments from companies operating in the renewable energy sector. The foreign minister also says Turkey is committed to maintaining close dialogue with Croatia regarding the stability in the Balkans. Turkey's leading drone manufacturer and Italy's defense giant have signed a partnership agreement in unmanned technologies. Baykar Technologies and Leonardo will produce combat aerial vehicles in both countries. After months of intensive negotiations, Turkey and Italy have agreed on a deal to produce unmanned combat drones together. Production between Baykar Technologies and Leonardo will take place in both Turkey and Italy. The agreement was signed at Leonardo's headquarters in Rome by its chief executive Roberto Cingolani, Baykar's chairman Selçuk Bayraktar and CEO Haluk Bayraktar. The two companies project that the European unmanned aerial vehicle market will reach $100 billion within the next decade. Bayraktar says the complementary strength of both companies and their combined expertise will allow them to develop the best systems together. Cingolani described the day as significant, underscoring the importance of the Memorandum of Understanding with Baykar. Baykar Technologies, known for producing advanced unmanned combat aerial vehicles such as the Bayraktar TB2 and Akıncı, has been expanding its footprint in Italy. In December, Baykar acquired Italian aerospace company Piaggio. Elon Musk's SpaceX lost contact with its Starship rocket in space on Thursday during its 8th test mission. It's the company's second consecutive Starship failure this year. The 403-foot rocket lifted off from Boca Chica in Texas, successfully returning its booster to Earth. But minutes later, the upper stage began tumbling uncontrollably before SpaceX confirmed the loss of signal. Social media showed debris streaking across Florida skies, prompting temporary airport shutdowns. This failure raises questions about SpaceX's ambitious timeline for deep space missions. In 2024, Azerbaijan's Shahdag Mountain Resort saw a significant increase in the number of visitors from Central Asia. As the demand for winter sports grows, industry leaders gathered at the Eurasian Mountain Tourism Forum to discuss the future of mountain tourism.
In 2024, the tourists from Central Asia to Azerbaijan increased by 85%, with over 278,000 visiting Shahdag. As the largest ski resort in the country, Shahdag is now a key place for tourism and sports. And today we are going to talk about its growth and opportunities.
The Eurasian Mountain Resorts Alliance is driving a major transformation, creating opportunities for economic expansion beyond the traditional energy sector. Experts argue that tourism, unlike oil and gas, is a sustainable and renewable industry that can generate long-term prosperity. This was discussed at the forum on the prospects and opportunities of mountain tourism in Eurasia in the Shahdag Tourism Center.
Tourism is an industry that never runs out. People will always want to travel, to be with nature, and to experience new destinations. That's why we believe mountain tourism can significantly contribute to economic diversification and improve the well-being of our citizens. The key is to build strong cooperation among resorts and learn from each other.
One of the primary objectives of the forum is to establish an integrated regional tourism strategy that will streamline cross-border travel for winter sports enthusiasts. A key initiative is the introduction of a single ski pass, which will allow tourists to access multiple resorts in different countries under one ticket. Ski resorts in Eurasia are shifting towards cooperative strategies, creating joint marketing campaigns and establishing tourism corridors between member countries. Uzbekistan and Azerbaijan, for example, have already taken steps toward boosting travel between their resorts.
We are working on a unified ski pass for Alliance members, which will allow tourists to experience skiing across multiple destinations with a single ticket. This is a major step toward integrating regional tourism. Flights between Uzbekistan and Azerbaijan are increasing, making it easier for visitors to explore different resorts.
Kazakhstan is also playing a key role in this expansion. Resorts such as Shimbulak are actively collaborating with Shahdag to increase tourist exchanges, hosting joint events and cultural tourism programs.
We see that on 24% increase of numbers of tourism and we are thinking that to take a union like our possibility to grow more. So with our participants, with the Azerbaijan team, we developed the special program where we are sharing our tourists with Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan. We held the special days of Azerbaijan in Kazakhstan and Kazakhstan in Azerbaijan, and it helped us to promote our destinations.
Beyond regional collaboration, the meeting is also focusing on the development of ski infrastructure to attract more international tourists. Shahdag alone has expanded its slopes by 3.8 kilometers and introduced a new 1.8 kilometer course specifically designed for international competitions.
By studying best practices from other resorts, we are enhancing our operations in marketing, human resources, and technical management. Our partnerships with international tourism companies allow us to increase visitor numbers by 20 to 30% each year. Most of our tourists come from Russia, but we are actively expanding into new markets.
Kazakhstan's Vice Minister of Tourism, Yerzhan Yerkinbayev, emphasised that while state support is important, private investment plays a crucial role in the sustainable growth of mountain tourism.
The government cannot fully finance all projects, so we are working with private investors to develop new cable cars, artificial snowmaking systems, and world-class facilities. This model is essential for ensuring long-term success in mountain tourism.
Shahdag, which first opened in 2012, is now positioning itself as a leading destination for winter sports in the region. Its hosting of the Eurasian Mountain Tourism Forum signals Azerbaijan's commitment to growing this sector and strengthening cooperation with international partners. The forum also marked the expansion of the alliance, with South Korea's Mono-Yongpyong Mountain Resort officially joining as a new member.
It's 25 years since one of the world's most iconic landmarks in the UK, the London Eye, was opened. The Ferris wheel has become a symbol of the city and a popular attraction for millions of visitors over the years.
The London Eye is about to reach an impressive milestone, marking 25 years since its opening. Positioned along the south bank of the River Thames, the Millennium Wheel has welcomed more than 85 million visitors, becoming a staple of London's skyline. When it was first opened to the public in 2000, it was the tallest Ferris wheel in the world at a height of 135 metres and with a diameter of 120 metres. Designed by architects Julia Barfield and the late David Marks, the iconic structure was born from a vision they crafted together in their Stockwell kitchen in 1993 for a competition. Despite their submission not winning, the duo remained committed to bringing their idea to life.
It was a wheel because it was celebrating the millennium, so it was a kind of a symbol of time. So a circle has no beginning, no end. It is the symbolic of the passing of time, but also the cycles of life. So it was very much generated by the millennium. And, you know, at that time, so we started it in 1993, there was nowhere really that where you could see London from a height. You could climb, I think, 365 steps to the top of St Paul's, but that was really the only place. And the idea was very much about celebrating London.
What was initially intended to be a temporary structure has become a permanent fixture. It was granted a permanent license in 2002, and last year its status as a long-term landmark was confirmed.
Since the year 2000, there's been over 85 million people that have come onto our pods. We see roughly, on a really busy day, especially during summer, we see roughly 18,000 people a day, which is an incredible number.
It has been featured in countless films and television shows, and it has witnessed more than 8,000 marriage proposals. 1% of ticket sales is donated back into the local community. This contribution has helped fulfill one of Barfield's key ambitions for the wheel, to regenerate the South Bank.
That's all for now. Stay tuned for more updates and have a wonderful morning.